out the investigation, which is their constitutional function.
We had a tragedy in the various parts of the country on Saturday, which is now regarded as now called recruitment tragedy. I was flabbergasted to learn that the House of Reps has begun an investigation into the matter. Under what powers? That is the exclusive preserve. That's the business of the National Human Rights Commission. With respect to the areas of murder, if you want to pursue murder, you call the police. The National Assembly is not an ombudsman. They can condemn the tragedy, like all well-meaning Nigerians have done. But in terms of investigating, it has nothing to do with lawmaking. So you will call the appropriate agency of government, the National Human Rights Commission, the Nigerian Police Force. Can you investigate and let us have a report? The National Assembly usurps the powers of these statutory bodies. At the end of its investigation, it then sends the reports to these bodies. Say, for instance, the EFCC. That body will now have to begin the investigation afresh, because it cannot rely on a report compiled by a body that is not vested to do so by law.
Now, for more on that interview, join our judiciary correspondent Shola Shoyele on Law Weekly tonight at 9:30. In the meantime, we move to security issues. The governor of Kaduna State in north-central Nigeria has convened a high-powered meeting with traditional rulers and youth groups across the state in a bid to halt the attacks on communities in Kaduna State by unknown gunmen. At the meeting held at the Kaduna State Government House, Governor Muktar Yero told the gathering to help the government in finding a lasting solution to the killings of innocent citizens going on in the state. And all hands must be on deck if the insecurity challenge in the northeast is to be taken care of. That's the view of the chairman of the Conference of Speakers of the State Houses of Assembly, Alhaji Nuwa Gaba. The speaker told journalists in Abuja, Nigeria's capital city, that a lot more must be done by the federal government and the military to curtail the excesses of the Boko Haram sect.
One of the key issues we have discussed is the issue of insecurity in Nigeria. The conference condemned totally the killings in so many parts of this country and appreciate the security agencies and the federal government for taking a deliberate positive steps toward achieving and ensuring security in Nigeria. And we ask them to do more so that peace and security will be in place, so that socio-economic development of the country will improve. Apart from that, we have discussed on so many issues that affect the democracy itself. One, the issue of unity. We believe we are all Nigerians, and we believe in the unity and harmony of this country. And we equally call on all the stakeholders in Nigerian democracy and other areas to continue to contribute towards ensuring that Nigeria remains one indivisible, united country.
Still to come on News Track, Russian boots shake Ukraine. That's on the foreign scene. Join us again.
Every day you invite us to your home. Now we invite you to our homepage. Join Channels TV on social media. Hang out with us on Google Plus/Channels Television. Follow us on Twitter.com/Channels TV_NG. Friend us on Facebook.com/Channels Forum. And don't forget to like our page. That's not all. Subscribe to our YouTube channels. YouTube.com/Channels Web to get post and video updates and news and events in Nigeria and around the world. ChannelsTV.com, the news at your fingertips. The highs and lows of the economy touch every part of our daily lives. Understanding its dynamics can be the difference between swimming with the tide or struggling against it. Analyzing government policies and how they shape the economy is what we do every workday. From the financial sector, maritime, the SMEs, telecom to aviation, we engage policymakers and operators in the economy. Watch Business Morning live, Mondays to Fridays, only on Channels Television.
Welcome back. On the foreign scene, new satellite images have emerged from France. It shows potential debris from the missing flight MH370 in the southern Indian Ocean. Now, this is the third set of images in a week of possible debris in the area. Australia is coordinating the search and earlier said that it was investigating sighting of a pallet and other items. Malaysian Airlines flight MH370 disappeared on March the 8th en route from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing with 239 people on board. Malaysian officials believe the plane was deliberately taken off course. Based on information received from a satellite, the search has been in two distinct corridors, one stretching to northwest of the last known location in the Malacca Straits and one to the southeast. However, none of the countries on the northern corridor have reported any radar contact, and the satellite images of possible debris in the South Indian Ocean have concentrated the search there. Russian boats have stormed a Ukrainian air base in Crimea, throwing grenades and firing automatic weapons in the air. Reports say at least one person was injured during the violence on Babek base near Sevastopol, which is now under Russian control. Russia formally annexed the Ukrainian region on Friday, and since then, hundreds of unarmed protesters have seized a Ukrainian naval base west of Crimea. It was quick, well organized and over before the Ukrainians could fight back, much like Russia's entire takeover. Russian forces appear to be stepping up their efforts to push all Ukrainian forces out of the region. And in Africa, the murder trial of South African athlete Oscar Pistorius will now run till the middle of May after both sides agreed to an extension. The trial has already overrun its initial time frame, with the prosecution not yet completing its case. Mr. Pistorius denied intentionally shooting his girlfriend, Riva Steenkamp, on Valentine's Day last year, saying he mistook her for an intruder. Last week, he said he would sell his home to fund legal costs. The court in Gauteng province said that the trial would continue till April the 4th, then adjourned for a week before resuming on May the 16th. The trial will enter its fourth week on Monday, with 5 more witnesses expected to be called by the prosecution. And on sports news, the Flamingos of Nigeria will face Mexico tomorrow by 3 a.m. for a top spot finish in Group D at the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup in Costa Rica. With both teams already guaranteed a spot in the quarterfinals, the Flamingos are determined to go on a goal feast in order to topple Mexico as group winners. Nigeria won their opening game against China 2-1 and also recorded the same scoreline against Colombia. Embattled Nigeria Premier League sides Nembe City and Giwa FC have appealed to the league management company LMC to accommodate them in the 2013-2014 season. Both sides failed to meet substantial registration requirements for the season and were thrown out of the league by the LMC. Nembe City had petitioned the House of Representatives Committee on Sports, while the two persons in Jos filed separate cases on behalf of Giwa FC, seeking court ruling to compel the LMC to readmit the club. However, both clubs have now written to the league body appealing for further consideration of their case. The LMC has in turn referred to the appeals to the Nigerian Football Federation. And the Athletes Federation of Nigeria, AFN, is expecting a good outing when the IAAF World Relays begin on May the 25th in Bahamas. With Team Nigeria failing to win a medal at the World Indoors earlier this month, the Federation is expecting to open a small camp for the relay teams to put them in good shape. The relays are like a tradition to Nigerian athletes, but in recent times the athletes have struggled at world meets. At the indoors meet, Nigeria's 4x400 meters men set an African record but missed the final, while the women qualified for the final